All right, so in this last part, I'm going to talk about the last two final feature of the EIGRP routing protocol, which OSPF does not support these features or these options. The first option is auto summarization. So here in this example, I'm going to active auto summarization feature by using this command under EIGRP. And just to actually give you hint that to deactive the auto summarization, you can just put no auto summary, and that would be disable auto summarization. So in US, I use this command to active auto summary on US router and force the US router to learn its subnets to the other routers as a class full, because that was the concept of the auto summarization. It was learning the classless subnets, subnet IDs as a class full subnet ID. So when I active this on Turkey router, when I want to see the routing table, so I can see that US router learned these classless subnet IDs as a class full subnet ID, which is very good because it's make the other routers routing table is really very small and easy to manage and track. On the other side, when I disable auto summarization on the US router, when on Turkey router, I use actually the command for the to see the routing table. Now you can see that how big my routing table is, and this absolutely going to make it hard for network admin to just track all these subnet IDs, and now we can see how this feature could help. It is good to know that even though this feature is very good, but this is good when we have kind of the contiguous network. And if this network would be discontiguous and some of these subnet ID was belong to the kind of other router, for example, in Turkey router, then that would be the big trouble for network admin, which is, it would be beyond the scope of this video to I just talk about that part of that. The last thing I wanted to just show you is about actually unequal load balancing feature. So here on the US router, when I use a command show IP route EIGRP, and US router, I can see that the 172 subnet is learned by two paths from the Finland and from the Africa router. And we know that in EIGRP, the maximum path for equal load balancing is by default by 4. So if we have 4 paths from one router to the other router with an equal metric, all of them would be on our routing table. But here is, we want to talk about the major difference between OSPF and EIGRP, and that is unequal load balancing concept. To activate this feature, we have to play with one variable or option which is called variants. So in router here, if I use show IP protocols, I can see that the maximum path for equal load balancing is 4. But this is an option that I want to show you that here. I want to talk. EIGRP maximum metric variance is 1. What does this number represent? This number represents that based on our best metric, or FD, how much we can exceed and bring to our routing table. For example, in this example, our metric from Turkey to the US was 2,809,856. If I change the variance here to the 2, then this number here would multiple to the 2, and the result would be the number that would have the permission to come into our routing table. So, which would be, if I multiply this number to, it would be 5,619,712. So, now let's play a little bit this variable. So I'm coming to EIGRP. My AS number for this example is 1. So here I say variance, for example, I would say to the 3. That means even though if other paths has a metric times actually triple more than our metric, our best metric, they can come into our table. So now you can see what happened here. There are some changes in our adjacency neighbor table. And now if I say to show IP route, now here's the interesting part. Now you can see that it's changed. Why? Because let's back to the main scenario and here. Okay. Now you can see that the middle path is also added to our, oh yeah, that's correct. The third path is also added to our routing table, and that was because I changed the variances and allowed this, in fact, router to add even unequal path to its table, and which is very good feature of this routing protocol, because it would also going to be send the packets over the all links, even though if they're not the same metric. All right, I'm going to finish this tutorial video here. Thank you for listening to my tutorial video, and goodbye.